Hello, Dr. Frank Wen from Integrity Chiropractic in Kirkland, Washington, back again. In this video, I'm going to take you through a simple guide to help fix your shoulder pain. I'm going to show you a very simple release technique for a couple of key spots in the rotator cuff that someone can help you release at home, or how you can do it yourself with a lacrosse ball, and also show you some simple but effective exercises that you can do to rehab the shoulder. While there are lots of things that can cause shoulder pain, oftentimes slow developing shoulder pain present in the working population is due to some issue with the tendons of the rotator cuff. And it can be made worse if the person also participates in athletic activities that have a high volume of overhead movements such as Crossfit, golf, swimming, volleyball, and badminton. If you have someone at home to help you, start by sitting in a chair. I'm going to throw up an image of me having drawn out some of the anatomy with a marker so that you can visualize things better. The two tendons we're going to release are the supraspinatus and infraspinatus tendons. The shoulder blade has a spine that separates the two depressions in the shoulder blade that these muscles originate from. Their tendons are frequently subject to microscopic damage that builds up over time due to a combination of weakness, overuse, and pinching under the roof of the shoulder. Soft tissue work can relieve the pain and is also thought to help the healing process in these tendons. What I'm doing here is identifying where the spine of the shoulder blade is, and I'm following it out to help me get to where their tendons attach by the roof of the shoulder. Everyone's soft tissue makeup is a little bit different, but using the spine and the roof of the shoulder can help you hone in on these two muscles and their tendons. What you'll do now is have the person take their hand on the affected shoulder and place it on the opposite shoulder. This will help better expose the tendons for you to work. I like to start in the infraspinatus tendon. What you're going to do is take your thumb and place it right over the tendon and push in firmly. You'll usually know you're on the right spot because the person will make a face or jump a little bit in their seat. Then you're going to do slow and deep circles over that spot for 8 to 10 minutes. It'll be a little bit uncomfortable, but if you go too fast, it'll be too uncomfortable. Remember, slow and steady wins the race. You can move around in the local vicinity of the tendon. After you've worked on the infraspinatus doing that, you can just move up vertically a little and you'll be on the supraspinatus tendon. Spend a few minutes there doing the same thing. So if you're by yourself and have a lacrosse or massage ball, you can release these tendons on your own. You'll take the hand of the affected shoulder and give yourself a hug across the body to help expose the tendons on the affected side more. Then you'll pin the ball between the wall and your supraspinatus and infraspinatus tendons. You'll use your whole body to do small shimmies back and forth to release them. You may need to readjust the ball frequently as it can get away from you, but same thing, spend a few minutes working this slowly. It won't be as spot on as if someone was doing it for you, but it'll be good enough. So after you've spent the time to release the tendons, I expect your pain and mobility to be somewhat better. It may be worthwhile to spend a few days working on just this, but if you feel comfortable enough, we'll move on to some simple exercises to help develop strength in these muscles and tendons. For these exercises, all you need is a can of food or a bottle of water for resistance. If you have a 2 to 5 pound dumbbell, great, but you probably don't need anything more than that. Use only weight that you can handle without it hurting. These exercises will burn a little as you get tired, but you don't want it to hurt on the outset. You can even do them with no weight. Grab a yoga block or cushion that you can rest your head on because we're going to lay down on our side with the affected shoulder up and the body nicely stacked. For the first exercise, you're going to take the weight in your hand and bend your elbow to 90 degrees, keeping it tucked in your side. As you keep it tucked as best as you can, rotate the arm as high as you can go without pain, and as much as you can keep the elbow tucked. You'll then lower the weight slower than the speed you brought it up down to your stomach. I like to count 1, 2 up and 1, 2, 3 down. I'm doing this 30 times here in the video, but for you, 10 or 20 may be more appropriate in the beginning. The lowering part of the exercise is key as this is an eccentric movement and it has some evidence in helping with tendon injuries. It starts out a piece of cake, but it'll get harder as you go on. The next exercise is one I've cooked up to challenge the rotator cuff, as well as help develop upward shoulder blade rotation, which is also important in helping keep these tendons from getting pinched. You're going to take the weight and keep your elbow bent at 90 degrees by your side. You're then going to punch the weight straight out in front of you, smoothly, going as far as you can go before returning, and trying to keep the weight parallel to the ground the whole time. I'm doing this 20 times in this video. This is a really hard movement, so for you, 5 or 10 might be enough to do it. Last exercise, you'll turn slightly so you're facing up a little. You want your arm to be as straight as possible and holding the weight so it's just a little behind your butt. You're going to bring the weight up to the ceiling as high as you can go and then slowly lower it back down to the starting position. I'm going for 20. So how do these tendons get bad like this? This weakness can happen from working in an office where your shoulder is subjected to long hours of being turned inward to accommodate your wrist and fingers for using a standard keyboard or your laptop. This weakness can set up an imbalance in the shoulder, making it more likely for these tendons to get pinched with daily activities that require overhead motion or stabilization in the shoulder joint. This same working posture can also lead to development of that rounded forward shoulder posture as well. These muscles can also get weak and damaged from overhead sports if you're not taking the time to train them, as they help decelerate the shoulder at the end of swinging or throwing motions. Lastly, overdevelopment of other shoulder muscles with weightlifting can also cause an imbalance of strength in the shoulder joint, leading to these tendons getting pinched more as well. So there you have it. You have a couple techniques to release 2 key spots in the shoulder, along with 3 very simple exercises. I would try to keep the routine up every day if you can, and you might be surprised at the improvement you get. Thanks for watching, and please like or subscribe to our channel.